Hi, this is African Time and another beautiful episode here. All right, so today I want to discuss something Africa's longest railway system, and then we have to know how the Africa Railway are actually doing in various African countries, and let's learn and know how we are concerning the African continent, okay, to see how improvements we are doing with our peers or African countries, okay. This is African Time. Let's go. All right, so we were shared by the African narratives. So they says top countries with the longest railway system in 2024 includes total railway system in kilometers and global rankings. Yep, I'm going to do this in the kilometers and also with their global ranking, respectively. Okay, so let's see how this goes. All right, so number one country in Africa with the longest railway system in 2024 is South Africa. It says to have 20,986 kilometers, and they are at number 12 in Africa. Number two is Sudan. Sudan are having 7,251 kilometers, and they are 30th on global. Number three is Egypt. Egypt are said to have 5,085 kilometers, and they are 37th on global. Number four is Mozambique. Mozambique is said to have 4,787 kilometers, and they are 40th on global ranking. Number five is Tanzania. Tanzania is said to have 4,097 kilometers, and they are 44th on global ranking. Number six is Algeria. Algeria is said to have 4,020 kilometers, and they are 46th on global ranking. At number seven is DR Congo. They are said to have 4,007 kilometers, and they are 47th on global ranking. At number 8 is Kenya. Kenya is said to have 3,819 kilometers, and they are said to be number 50th on global ranking. Number 9 is Nigeria with 3,798 kilometers, and they are 51st on global ranking. At number 10 is Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is said to have 3,427 kilometers, and they are number 56th on global ranking. At number 11 is Zambia. Zambia is said to have 3,126 kilometers, and they are number 58th on global ranking. At number 12 is Angola with 2,761 kilometers, and they are 61st on global ranking. At number 13, we have Namibia with 2,628 kilometers, and they are 63rd on global ranking. On number 14, we have Tunisia. They are 2,173 kilometers, and they are 70th on global ranking. And lastly, on number 15, we have Morocco with 2,067 kilometers, and they are 72nd on global ranking. The source to this information is Global Firepower. Yep, so now you have seen this, okay? So they are saying that the longest railway systems in 2024 Africa is or was done by the Global Fire, okay? So they have shared this. And then South Africa is number one on Africa right now with 20,986 kilometers. And they are also at number 12 in global ranking. That means top 20 best railway system in the world. South Africa are on number 12. That is how impressive this is, okay? They are actually doing great. It's not easy. They have actually represented Africa. Now see this. After they became in on number 12, the next Africa close in line is Sudan. And they are actually number 30th in the world ranking. But they are second in Africa. That should tell you the gap between South Africa and the rest of the continent. That's why I'm saying that other African countries need to do better and also improve. South Africa may be actually doing great with this, but they need to also improve more, okay, and also make the railway accessible, because it's true that they can actually control the transportation fares and charges, because some people are actually routing and doing so much with the economy, because transportation actually plays a major role in inflation in the country. Trust me, it does. It actually does. And I think railways can actually solve about 50% of that problem. Trust me, it can. Also, this is for you, okay? These top 15 African countries with the longest railway system in Africa 2022, and it was shared by the Global Firepower, okay? And where South Africa was topping, and Sudan was second on the list, with Egypt being third and Mozambique being fourth, and then last number 5 is Tanzania. So these countries are the top 5 longest railway system in Africa 2024. Don't forget that. The source again is Global Fire. Well, let's continue with this. Okay, so someone came in commenting and says, SA always leaving gaps between number 1 and number 2. Wide enough to fit in a few more countries. How is that impossible? How can you fit 2 more countries if they have not actually passed number 1 or number 2? Sorry. How can you fix them up? They have to up their games. That's why I always say this. Some people think I'm actually an SA content creator. I'm not a South African content creator. I'm an African content creator. And I'm here to discuss Africa economics, Africa politics, Africa infrastructure, Africa development, and then also show you how we are doing concerning Africa, other African countries. And then South Africa seems to be topping on almost every chart I post. That is never my fault to talk about South Africa. It is me talking about Africa best countries doing great things, and I actually have to acknowledge number one. No, tell me this. How can I actually discuss something concerning Africa and I will not talk about number one, because people are saying that you are too much discussing number one. So who should I discuss? Who asked you to stand on top of the mountain? If you are standing or you're leading the pack, you are the leader and you will take all blames. Trust me. When I say that it's being leading this one, they give me no choice but to talk about them. So if you're out there always worried about me talking about SA, sorry, bruh, I'm talking about Africa. And if SA continue to be on top, I'm never ever going to stop talking about them. The best thing you can do is tell South Africa to stop doing so great and doing too bad. And that one day will never be heard. If not that, trust me, I have no choice but to do that, okay? Let's continue with this. Well, this person also says, in South Africa, back in the days, you could literally go anywhere in all directions, but train including neighboring countries like Botswana, Zim, Mozambique. Sadly, we are failing to maintain and guard the infrastructure. It is vandalized daily by our African brothers. Well, that is a South African though. Man is saying that these things are actually worrying the South African people, and then they have actually low maintenance culture for these train railways things, and he's saying that is not good for the continent. That is so true, my brother. And then lastly, this one also says most here DS doesn't even work. He said that most of the countries listed there, their railways are not actually working. It's just left there to scrap, and people are taking it for scraps. Well, that's so true. Africa and maintenance culture is so bad. Well, this one also says, in South Africa, most lines are just history today. Some sick and people build shacks in those lines. Some are taking lines out selling to Chinese, and it's so bad. Well, man was actually not happy, and he was actually pointing that out to let you guys know how bad some of these are actually not helping the South African people, and then the government as a whole. It's actually not working. And well, actually he's right, though there is sort though, but I think he's right with this, because it's too bad seeing people actually deliberately doing something bad, harming the economy and people of their countries too. It's actually bad. Well, this is Vilashi Studios, and I was here to share with you some facts about Africa. Hope you have learned something, and then hope you are also ready for more. Don't forget this. We are actually in the December. We are getting ending of 2024. So that means 2025, there will be a lot of lists concerning Africa in 2024. That I'll also be here to share with you. So don't forget to know all the latest ranking that made up in the news in 2024 and where your country lies. I'll actually be glad to share with you in 2025 for you to know how best your country worked in 2024. Okay? Stay tuned for more updates on Africa. See you guys around.